Oke, saat ini saya bersama dengan Arki Dikania Wisnu, pemain veteran yang memperkuat tim nasional bola basket Indonesia mempersiapkan diri untuk berlaga di lanjutan FIBA Asia Cup Qualifier 2021. Arki, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. We've been trying to get an interview with you, but due to like a schedule conflict and also some other stuff, we finally made it. Third time is a charm.
Finally, yeah.
So we understand that the Indonesian national team started practicing after quite a while because of this pandemic of COVID-19. Tell us what it's been like. I mean, after absent of doing anything related to the basketball for like 3-4 months, and then right now you guys are getting back together and practice together. Tell us what it's like, and what kind of practice that we done in the first day of the practice.
I mean, we're still going through the whole pandemic, so there's still an adjustment. We're taking the proper caution. We haven't been practicing like full intensity, no contacts practices or anything like that. It's just been more like getting back in shape, getting our rhythm back, doing like individual skill drills and stuff like that. So right now we're just trying to get back into shape, because I'm pretty sure a lot of players, they gained some weight, they haven't been as active as they could be because of the whole COVID-19. So yeah, I mean, it's an adjustment.
Did the coaching staff tell you guys or brief you guys the focus of the training camp right now? I mean, what kind of a target did they want to do in this training camp?
As of now, is just we don't know what's going to go on in the future. Like, we don't know if the Windows 2 starts in November, so we don't know if they're going to push it back, reschedule it, and whatnot. So right now, they're just trying to find the time to get us back into shape and rhythm, gain our chemistry back, so that we'll be ready by November.
Okay. But maybe you can tell us a little bit about the return of Jamar Johnson into the Indonesian team practice squad. Tell us a little bit, how will the presence of Jamarr is going to change the training camp?
Yeah, since we don't have Lester hasn't come yet, so right now having Jamarr here is good for us to have more bodies in practice. I mean, even though we haven't had any contact sport practices or anything like that, but just having him around, him, Brandon, and the team together, it's good.
Okay. Arki, I remember that you post something in your Instagram saying that you this year is your 10th year in the professional league, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, okay. Going into my 10th year, I think.
Okay. Retroactively, when you look back into your first year in the league, into professional career in basketball, and then what you see right now, what changed, and what things improved and what things hasn't improved?
I mean, there's a lot. Player-wise, I feel like the players individually skill-wise, like they improve. When I was a rookie, belum ada banyak yang kayak ngedunk in a game. It was like you'll get one every, like maybe the most in a season, 4 dunks. But now it's like, I mean, it's not no like crazy 360 or through the leg dunks, but I mean, you're getting more dunks. But that means like, a lot of players are getting more athletic, more height, and so they're improving. And also before there was no imports, so now there are imports. So they're trying to at least make a program where how can we get the locals to improve, and by having imports, that makes it more competitive, which is a good thing.
If you looking back all this improvement in terms of the skill of the players and also the competition right now, and then you can give one advice to the young player up and coming, the younger generation who wants to become a professional players like yourself, what kind of advice would you give them?
Work hard, man. There's a lot of players that have potential, don't live, don't let that get to your head. Just because you have potential, that doesn't mean you will become the great player that is expected. Like you still have to work hard before anything. So just follow your dreams, keep working hard, work on your craft, and the sky's the limit. Like you could make it pro, you could play for Timnas. Just all depends on your hard work.
Hmm. Well, we hope that Indonesia could become the co-host for the FIBA Asia Cup Qualifier 2021, and we also hope that when Indonesia become the host for the FIBA World Cup 2023, Indonesia can also participate in that event. Uh, this in this kind of momentum, I mean, this is a very rare momentum, rare opportunity for Indonesia to showcase their talents. Uh, what should Indonesia do to optimize, to gain at the very high level? What should we do so that we can get as much as benefit of, participating in the FIBA Asia Cup and FIBA World Cup?
I feel like we should have a pretty consistent program. From what I've seen over the years is like we usually have, for example, an event that's coming up, and then only that year where the event is coming up is when we actually prepare for it. But in my opinion, even the years where we're not preparing, where there is no event, I feel like the program should still continue if you're trying to actually compete and improve. And then the problem is like the roster always changes every event. Like if you have the same core players and then develop their chemistry, their skills together as a team, like I think that would help Indonesia basketball a lot. Like for example, um, this year, like during Timnas off season, we actually have practices and training camp. We joined the IBL season and stuff like that. But like it has to continue from there. Like next year, there's gonna be we still have the FIBA games. There's also C games. But then the following year, what other events do we have? If we don't have anything, I still think there should still be um, a training camp for the national team, and you have to keep the same, maybe like the same. If you guys want to use this coach or coaching staff, then keep them and have the same players. This way, from the chemistry between the players and the coaches, they grow. The players to the import naturalized players or whatever, they all grow together and become one solid unit.
Hmm. Where do you see the Indonesia stand now in terms of the competition in the regional, in the Southeast Asia?
We've improved. I mean, the past few C games, minus last year, we've gotten silver. We've showed that we're a team that can compete, and we've joined games, tournaments like the William Jones and stuff like that, and we show we can compete. So it's like as long as we have the proper program, the proper support budget and everything for the players, I feel like, I mean, we can improve as a whole, as a country. We can.
Hmm. Some says that the Indonesian rank right now in FIBA, it's between the 80th or 90th rank in the world right now, based on the FIBA ranking, the latest one. But some argues that that rank, the Indonesian receive rank, because the Indonesia lacks of I mean, related to what you said, participation in the tournaments, in the international tournaments, so that because of lacking of games in the international tournaments, the ranking is quite low. Do you agree when some people say that if the Indonesian national team play more of international games, the rank should be higher than now?
But then it'll be a conflict of interest, because what about the players that have to play the for the local league, So it's tough. I mean, but at the same time, maybe if we play more competition, but how can we do that right now? Because like, for example, if there was no COVID-19, it would be a possibility that we would be participating in the William Jones Cup again, but now we can't. So how does that work? Like, so right now, like, I can't really even comment on that. But I mean, if you think about the more games that we participate in, the more that our ranking should improve. I mean, why not? You know.
Okay. Could you comment a little bit about Thailand, the team that we're going to face in November, and what should we expect the Indonesian national team to perform against Thailand?
You know, we can't sleep on Thailand. Thailand is has very much improved since like I first came and played for the national team. You know, they got size, they got shooters, they got people who can play too. They got good naturalized players as well. But you know, it's all about heart and who wants it more. And I mean, we've played them so many times. You know, like we should know how each other play by now. So I feel like, you know, it's all about at the end of the day is who wants it more,
Hmm.
and then
But
how the coaches execute and stuff like that.
okay. But you personally, based on the experience playing Thailand in the last SEA Games in 2019, how would you approach this game differently against Thailand in November?
Oh man, that's tough because I don't know. Is it the exact same roster though?
Mo- maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So I
Yeah.
can. I mean, I can't even
Right.
comment. It's just, I mean, we know they're gonna play. I mean, they played a lot of switching on the pick and rolls, and you know they at the same time in this year's last year's SEA Games they had didn't they have Tyler Lamb,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, and we didn't
Yes.
have any naturalized player or anything like that either. So I mean, they had somewhat of an advantage, you know, but and at the same time we just we could have done better. But I mean, I'm pretty sure the players that played them that SEA Games, they learned from their mistakes, and they're gonna fix that, improve, and then go you know with a chip on their shoulder next time they see them.
Mm. Speaking of the local players of Indonesia compared to other local players, when we take out the natural players the other country has, and we only play local players, how do you put Indonesia compared to other Southeast Asian countries?
Oh, I feel like we can still compete. I mean, against all the other countries, you know. I mean, we might have to work harder because maybe we don't have the same height as them. But I mean, Indonesia is not a team to just push over. Like we'll compete.
Okay. Is Philippines still, the standard of excellence in terms of basketball in Southeast Asia? And based on your opinion, how far we've been come through and how close we are to Philippines?
I mean, I feel like they're very good. I mean, you got to realize basketball is like a religion in their
Right,
country.
right.
So it's like they set the bar if you want to compare it to Indonesia. And you know, where basketball is still a growing sport in Indonesia. You know, we can there's a lot that we can improve in. And then so, you know, they got height, they're skillful, their naturalized players are ex NBA players, which we've never had anything like that to begin with. So,
Okay.
you know, they set the bar for Southeast Asia.
Mm. And right now, how do you see about the young incoming younger generation right now? Let's say players like Derek Michael, and also maybe a little bit older, maybe the Vincent Kosasi, all those players. How do you see their future? I mean, do you see the Indonesia will be able to at least challenge the domination of Philippines in the Southeast Asia in the near future?
Yeah, absolutely. If they're given the right program
Mm.
and you know they reach their full potential, yeah, why not? You know, we can't. You got to be optimistic. You can't go and be like, nah, they're gonna beat us forever. Like that's anything's possible, you know.
Mm.
So with them, you know, they got a bright future. Derek is still young. He's still in high school. You know, if he works as hard and reaches his potential, he could be really good. And then Vincent, you know, he's shown growth since he first played represented for the national team, and you know, he's only going up from here.
Mm. Uh, maybe it's going to the last questions, but I'm kind of interested when you say that we need a continuation and consistency in terms of developing a program for the Indonesian national team. Uh, Maybe you can elaborate a little bit. What kind of program that needs to be consistent, uh, be, to be conducted by the Indonesian national team, so that there's continued growth for the players and also continued growth for the performance of the Indonesian national team.
I feel like there's like what you want to do with the national team is you want to send the best of the best of
Right.
what you guys have, and right now we don't have the pool like, let's say, Philippines has a lot of players,
Mm-hmm.
but for us I feel like we have to, during a national team off season, you got to be able to develop your core players. All right, if this is the coach wants these specific players, develop them. Like, for example, you said the future is Vincent and Derek.
Mm-hmm.
You got to develop them, put them in a proper program where they can reach their full potential, and you got to make sure that they get the proper recovery and don't overwork them, because by the time you want them to perform, they'll be like injured and stuff like that. You don't want that. So you got to give them the right program individually to help them grow, and then at the same time you got to also help the team grow together as a unit. So in my opinion, that's what they need. We just need like a proper program where we practicing together more often, because a lot of these players were not on the same team too. So we have this different vision. There's always going to be some kind of ego and stuff like that. So that's what we need to do.
All right.
Got to find the common middle.
Okay. Hey Arki, since you're in the national team, and there has been a decision that the IBL 2020 is going to continue in October. Who do you pick is going to win the IBL 2020 in October?
Are you really asking me that question? Oh man, I'm gonna say Satria Muda, man. Come on, what kind of question? That's a silly question. Come on. I'll always root for Satria Muda, no matter what. Nah, but I mean, they're solid young team this year. They got a couple few additions. They have a new head coach too. So they're trying to find the rhythm. They're pretty much like the national team, to be honest. They're young. They're trying to find the right rhythm together as a young unit, trying to find who's going to be that leader and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see these guys develop without like the rest of us that's in the national team.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Arki. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the interview, and we wish a good luck